How's it going, everybody? Let's go to the stream, see if we're live. We are live. Hello, everybody. Let's see if I go to home. Looks like we're doing good. So let's see if I go to scene. Okay, so this is
We are live.
Here. Hold on. I gotta. Hold on, chat. There we go. We're good.
Looks like we're doing good. So
Let's beat the desktop audio for a second. Let's go back in here. Let's just press this for a second. Just as a test. See if we're doing good. Gotta wait for the live stream to reach this point. Okay, so that's pretty good. Okay, chat. Let us react to how the internet destroyed generation. It's covering the title. How the internet destroyed Generation Alpha. All right, let's go. Okay, I just want to get this out of the way real quickly. I am Generation. I would consider myself. Well, I am Generation Alpha, cause I do know that Generation Alpha starts in 2010. I was born in 2010, so I guess that does make me Generation Alpha. I think I get that why all these kids want skincare and makeup. And it's cause I know exactly why, cause they're I got the mind of these people. I got it. It's because of TikTok and social media and stuff like that. And I might sound like a grumpy 50-year-old dad on Facebook or something, but like, what I mean is that like all these influencers who want to push their videos towards an audience, like all these girl influencers who are their audience is like, oh, like teens, because only teens need skincare and like makeup and stuff, because teens wear makeup and they need skincare because teens get acne and stuff like that, and that's their target audience. But with so many little kids on TikTok, that target audience is more likely going to be applied to them, so they're going to see it, and those kids are going to be like, oh, these really cool and popular people are doing this, so if I do this, then I will be really cool. Because imagine you're just watching a TikTok of somebody and somebody's like, yo, it's more like their target audience is someone older than you. Check out this new 16 plus limited edition super cool toy, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna get that. Because I want to be cool just like that person. And you know, it's not like it's illegal to get to, and for this stuff, it's not like a certain age. Like, you can get it, I guess, at 11, but like they don't need it. They just want it because they want to look cool. But that's just pretty obvious, you know. Okay. Either this is a joke, because there can't be some kid like this dumb. Like in mainstream 8th grade. Like, this gotta be like the 1%. Like 1%. 1% probably. Of like a regular kid in the 8th grade in mainstream, this has gotta be like 1%. Cause if they made a warning like this, then that would mean a bunch of kids are like the same. But if it's just like the 1%, like only like one or three kids that have this, and like out of 2,000 of them, or maybe like 3,000, then it's not really something you need to worry about. I mean, just specifically them, you need to worry about them. But it's not really influencing everybody else. But this is just bad. Was he trying to spell popsicle? Dude, he's trying to spell popsicle specifically? Like, come on, dude. I was halfway through my third grade spelling bee, and I misspelled the U in ground, and I felt so bad. Look at this, bro. I get that. I don't know why we're just noticing that now. That's been a problem for many years. I know that for a fact because I was one of those kids. I was an iPad kid. I'd have tantrums over my iPad was taken away or my Kindle was taken away. Or I had to shut down my games. I was like, no. It's been a thing for years, ever since the 2000s. Yeah, you have to shut off your PS4. Like, or whatever. It was like, oh no. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of like how like teachers kind of are ignoring bullying when like they might have experienced bullying in the past. Like it's something that like, oh, if they know what bullying was like in the past, then why aren't they doing anything about it now? If you get what I'm saying. Because we did the same thing in the past, but we're saying like, oh, this is completely abnormal to kids now, when we did the exact same thing back then. It's kind of like we're forgetting stuff. I've noticed a lot of content creators kind of just like profit off these type of videos. I've seen a bunch of these videos from like months ago over the same thing. Don't know why they're making a video now. Maybe they just got done with it now, but okay. No, Gen Alpha's not doomed. And I think this because number one, I think we all know by now about the things about kids pretending to be like Skibidi Toilet and stuff. Those are kids just having fun. I don't know what else to say. Number two, kids having tantrum over the iPad. Literally just talked about that. It's been going on for years. You know, but there is a problem with kids. There is a problem with the attention span and stuff. I am aware of that. All of this short form content being shown to kids with developing brains, very bad. Very bad for a developing brain. Because they're going to develop an attention span of like a salmon. Yes, sir. Oh crap, wait. I forgot about the desktop audio, I'm sorry. I'll skip back.
And current generation. Generation Alpha, the supposed future leaders and current generation of our society. But with the way they're growing up, will they actually be the future generation to make an impact? Or is Gen Alpha as doomed as people say it is? Who are Generation Alpha? Gen Alpha, or people born between 2010 and 2025, is said to become the most populated generation in history with over 2.8 million kids born every week. They follow Gen Z and are the children of the millennial generation. Although Gen Alpha is populated...
Not me. Not me. I was born by Gen X parents. So, I know what I'm doing. Thank God when I was growing up, I watched SpongeBob, dude. I grew up like everybody else back then.
a large amount of society. Why do other generations think there's no hope for this generation? With countless cases of kids acting out in public, lashing out, and behaving erratically, many...
I don't know why people think... We're... I think with us, we're probably gonna... With this, it's kind of scary, because I think we're turning into, like, adults now. We're turning into adults where they're like grumpy old people like, oh, kids these days. And you think back then, old people saying stuff about us being super weird with all our stuff. It's like, no. And I think it's going to be the same thing with Generation Alpha. I think they're going to turn out fine. With all the stuff I'm experienced, and the fact that I'm fine right now, they're totally going to be fine. Don't look too much into that.
Believe the Gen Alpha is already ruined. You see babies and toddlers often throwing temper.
This is completely fake. It's obviously fake. It's super overreaction. It's a bit super overreaction. They're just making this kid do this to profit off of them.
For tantrums the second their smart devices are taken away, and teachers are begging parents to do something.
Because why would they have multiple videos of that one kid having tantrums? Because if it's just one video, then it's like, oh, it's real. But if it's multiple videos, then it's just like, oh, it's fake. They're profiting off of them.
Because their kids barely scrape by in school. Time and time again, we hear about just how doomed Gen Alpha is. But where are these horror stories coming from? And what makes Gen Alpha so different from all the generations before them? The short answer, the internet. The rise of iPad kids. When you think of a kid in today's day and age, how do you picture them? Most of you probably had an image of a kid with an iPad in their hands, right? That's because Gen Alpha is not only the youngest generation, but also the most technologically dependent one.
Yep. I'm thinking back to 2017, 2018. I was laying on my couch watching Preston Plays Minecraft Dropper videos. Those were the days. But if I was doing that, if I was having tantrums over the iPad and I was watching the iPad that much, and I'm fine right now, they're going to be fine. At least I think. They're going to have some pretty big problems, but not with stuff like, oh, that's Skibidi Toilet and stuff. That's just...
Generation Alpha.
It's just an animated show. Like, think about, imagine back then into, like, the 2000s when SpongeBob was popular. It's like, oh, SpongeBob, that's complete. Or, like, no, like Ren and Stimpy or something like that back in the 90s. And it's also think, oh, it's complete brain rot. And the thing is, between Ren and, like, Beavis and Butthead, Ren and Stimpy, versus Skibidi Toilet. Skibidi Toilet has a plot. And Beavis and Butthead and just mainly Ren and Stimpy, it pretty much is brain rot. And you know what? Yeah, it's a really uncomfortable show to watch, even as a kid. But you kind of just lured into that. But it was a cartoon everybody loved back then, and they turned out fine. So.
Raised by screens, whether by TV, a computer, or the infamous iPad. With almost 80% of kids owning an iPad or another version of a tablet.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Welcome back to XX Boogery Fingers XX Play _ Gamer Plays. Today we are going to be playing Roblox and Fortnite for 20 hours straight without blinking. And they just have their like fucking Doritos on the side, just like.
Deny the nickname that many call this generation.
You see all the crumbs just fall on the camera every once in a while.
This is what happens when mom and dad take away an iPad from 2-year-old Ashlyn Brooks.
That's literally everybody when they were like 2. When they got theirs. Not everybody. That's like everybody when they were like 7 when they got their stuff taken away. I know that for a fact. At least one of you had a tantrum when you got their stuff taken away. At least one. Because it's addicting. It's addicting. I remember I was 2012. I think the only thing I did was I played little learning games and I took selfies of myself. I have the photos. I took my first selfie in like early 2012. That's when like the
Since
iPhone 4.
their creation, iPads have been used as a tool for parents who are simply too busy with work. Technology has proven to be a hassle-free way of keeping kids occupied when
Oh, dude, the little display things at Chili's. I don't know if you guys know about this. The little display things on Chili's. You can play like the little spy mouse games. I don't know if you guys know about. Or no, that was Outback. No, wait, yeah. I'm just talking about Outback.
they're at public
Little display
places,
things at Outback
social
and play
events, or
games.
just
Not like YouTube Shorts or anything.
during the day-to-day. With iPads being an evolved version of parenting in the 20th century, screens are simply considered the new nanny. And although parents
I don't want to watch more Roblox. Don't take away my iPad. No.
fit from relaxing after work, iPads could be doing more harm than good. It's gotten to a point where Gen Alpha is entirely relying
iPads are just crack. Yeah, iPad is literally just like the digital version of crack. You just give a kid an iPad. They're just like so addicted, dude.
on their devices, growing a digital addiction that they cannot seem to stop.
Digital.
Amazon is overcharging you, but I can show you how to avoid. Don't spend another dime on Amazon.
iPads are digital crack. This is why we need Trump as our president. He will remove iPads forever.
In 2012, a 3-year-old boy was kicked off an Alaskan Airlines flight from Seattle because of the extreme
There's always
temper
kids
tantrum
crying on
he
flights. What is unique about this?
threw after getting his iPad taken away.
Okay, I always see videos of kids. They never get
The kid
taken
had
off
been
the flight. This
playing
had to
with
be
the tablet
bad.
before takeoff, but when planes ascend, all devices were asked to be turned off, and this one iPad was no exception. But when flight attendants tried to get the kid to turn his tablet off, he started to wreak havoc. The child began a raging outburst, hitting his head against the roof of the plane and desperately begging for his tablet back. His family tried to calm him down
Yeah,
and
that's
buckle
bad.
him in so that they could take
That's
off.
when you're, like,
No one was
addicted.
able to control him. Things got so bad that the pilot had to turn the entire plane around on the runway.
Okay,
The
yeah,
boy
that's
and
a
his
problem.
entire
That's a
family was
problem.
escorted off the flight, causing them to
have a
miss their
tantrum on a
vacation
plane,
to
that's a
St.
problem.
Martin Island.
Unless
And
they're
this was over 10 years ago at the start of the iPad Kids generation. Since then,
Oh yeah.
Gen Alpha has grown more attached to their devices. Social
I mean, that's just kids playing. Those are just kids playing Minecraft, but like.
media has become a part of their day-to-day.
The thing is that I actually did grow up with a Xbox 360. It was donated. Okay, there was an Xbox 360, and I know it was from another person because it was donated to me by my friend Caden. But there's videos on it, on like a game from another family, so it must have been donated from that family to Caden's family to mine. And it was really old because those videos were from like 2011. It's really old. But there's a bunch of games, a bunch of Skylanders, stuff like that.
Routines for better or for worse, and it's caused kids to become addicted to the internet. And the stay-at-home crisis that happened in 2020 only made things worse. Kids were locked indoors and were unable to get any sort of social
couldn't finish.
interaction from other peers or teachers. Gen Alpha was
Fourth
treating
grade.
technology like a full-time job, devoting 40 hours a week.
That's because because staying at home was just such a problem where it was just like, yeah, let's just like not give these kids homework. I went back to school back in October of 2020
to
though.
using it. With
I
social
was like
media,
the only one. I was still taking Zoom meetings. I was like in a room in my school, literally the only one at my school.
being accessible to anyone, internet usage was at an all-time high. They couldn't go out to play because of restrictions, so the only way they could get any form of contact with the outside world was through their devices. Gen Alpha was going through critical development phases during the
My
stay-at-home
mom took away my iPad for 2 minutes, so I had to call the police.
crisis. The online world became their new reality because it was all they knew.
I had to call CPS because my mom wouldn't let me watch Skibidi Toilet.
Considering the sort of horrible stuff that we have
I
access
said
to
that's not
on-
Sigma, Mom, and I called CPS. She's in jail now.
Line, this is concerning. Technology usage on its own isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's the content that's being consumed that's the real perpetrator. Parents may think that they know what their kids are watching online, but sometimes things aren't what they seem, even in videos supposedly made for kids. Internet brain rot. You might have heard of the term brain rot. Popularized by social media, brain rot is the term that internet users have created to describe those lacking proper socialization and are obsessed with digital content to an unhealthy level.
Oh God, bro, Gen Alpha content's some of the most incoherent brain dead I've ever seen in my life, okay? Like, I can physically feel my brain cells frying every second I spend watching this.
Level 100 Gaiat, Ice Spice Riz W Riz Gaiat. You've Gaiat to be rizzing me in Ohio at 3 a.m.
When you think about brain rot, Gen Alpha tends to be the usual demographic that comes to mind. That's because the internet has been their primary means of interaction with the world since they were born. Brain rot content can also be identified by the constant usage of internet slang, overly bright colors, and attention-grabbing content that switches every few seconds. A key example is popular kids media like Skibidi Toilet that seem to capitalize on Gen Alpha's decreasing attention span by overwhelming them with hyper-stimulating content. Skibidi Toilet is a web series on YouTube that features a variety of models from games like Garry's Mod and Counter-Strike as they battle in a raging war. The two sides
You actually forgot about Half-Life 2, because most of these models come from Half-Life.
headed toilets, which are called Skibidi Toilets, and humanoids who have human bodies but items as their heads, like cameras
like
or
watching
TVs.
Skibidi Toilet
The series was created by a man named Alexei Gerasimov. It first premiered on YouTube in February
remember
of
watching the
2023. Since the first
before
episode
Skibidi
was
Toilet,
released,
completely before Skibidi Toilet, and that was because he had the because he went viral. He first went viral for like the San Andreas stuff, but I never watched that stuff. It was Malo 7 that he became popular for that I watched, and then he did Skibidi Toilet, which
the channel gained
blew
over
up. Everybody
40.6
knows about it.
million subscribers and has over 15 billion
I remember when he
views
had
today.
2
Each
million.
episode features the Skibidi Toilets and other characters engaged in full-on conflicts, animated in the most obscure and dramatic ways. There's never a dull moment in the videos, which to Gen Alpha is the exciting part. On the surface level, this might just seem like out-of-the-box wacky content for kids, but the harsh reality of it is that Skibidi Toilet could be damaging to children. With the constant overstimulating content, kids get used to hyperactivity, making everything else feel mundane. This can cause irritability.
Alright, now I understand. Okay, I get it. How Skibidi Toilet is like just super overstimulating to kids. If I saw that as a kid, dude, I would just be like, whenever I have a conversation with someone, no eye contact, bro. I'd just be like,
A low attention span and a lack of patience, since kids are now so used to hyperstimulation. Parents have long since been concerned with whether or not Skibidi Toilet is appropriate for their kids to watch.
No.
It even got to a point where Russian authorities had to get involved to investigate the show. A Moscow man concerned over Skibidi Toilet's detrimental effects on children asked the police to block the videos from the internet to prevent kids from watching it. This investigation has gotten mixed opinions so far, with some claiming that getting the police involved over a kids series is ridiculous. Other parents also echoed this.
I mean, it's really bad and overstimulating, but investigating it, but the police investigating it, that's pretty like, I'm gonna be honest.
Same concerns, believing that Skibidi Toilet may be doing more harm than good. While there's still no conclusive
Did he already say
answer
that?
as to whether the series is negatively affecting children, this form of hyper-stimulating media has become a growing trend for Gen Alpha. Parents are becoming increasingly worried that their kids are becoming like zombies because of this kind of content.
Are you having trouble trying to keep up with your professor? You've got to try Otter. Here's how it works.
Another popular kids show is Cocomelon, which is usually targeted toward babies and younger children. Cocomelon has become one of the most famous kids shows.
Yeah, it's ingenious. Cocomelon is ingenious. Because if you watch a Cocomelon video and nobody ever notices this before, and that's how overstimulating this stuff has become. When you're watching a Cocomelon video, it's never still. Never still. It is always moving. The camera is always moving. It's never still. And if it is still, it's still for like 2 seconds.
It's been a go-to
and then it becomes
entertainment
moving
source for
again.
parents to show their kids. But in recent months, the once favorable reputation of CoComelon has completely shifted because now parents are starting to discover a correlation between their kids' behavioral issues and the show. On December 26th, 2021, TikTok user It's Mama Bell posted a video that raised some serious concerns about CoComelon. The text on the video said that she had just switched from showing her kids CoComelon to a YouTuber called Miss Rachel, and that prior to switching, her children would just sit in front of the TV like zombies. In the comments, countless moms agreed with her, saying that Miss Rachel, who is a YouTuber who focuses on educational content, was much more beneficial for their kids. More and more parents realized that their kids were becoming addicted to CoComelon to the point where they wouldn't be able to move away from the screen, and they weren't learning anything from the show either. The show focused solely on keeping the children's attention with bright colors, repetitive songs, and fast jump cuts,
always moving.
all of which
Everything's
are
moving.
tactics that the show uses to keep kids hooked.
Let's see how many seconds it takes for each one of these scenes to change. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1.
This epidemic of overstimulation can be compared to the feeling that you get from substances, hence why CoComelon is so addictive to children. And it's not just random TikTokers that have said this. Actual childhood experts have chimed in, agreeing that CoComelon is too overstimulating for kids, which can lead to addiction. CoComelon watchers are usually between ages 2 and 5, which are critical years when it comes to early childhood.
You guys watch CoComelon in your
This
free
is
time?
the time when kids are developing language, creativity, and social skills. And shows like CoComelon have possibly only made these tasks more difficult, and not to mention the disturbing influx of ElsaGate content that's taken over all of the kid-friendly platforms. And
I used to watch ElsaGate. Yeah, I was a victim, dude. Like the Play-Doh version. All the time, dude.
a whole separate video of that you can watch.
And you know what?
All of this
I'm sorry
inappropriate
now.
content not only has caused concern for Gen Alpha parents, but also for teachers as well. Because not only are kids becoming more addicted to screens, but they're also doing much worse in school. The dumber generation. It's a common theme in social media for people to say that Gen Alpha is considered one of the dumber generations. The more kids become addicted to their screens, the harder it is for them to live a life away from it. That includes during school hours. It's as if kids are having a harder time paying attention, likely because the internet may be conditioning their brains to shorter content, hence a shorter attention span. Teachers around the world have been going viral on TikTok after sharing just how concerned they are about the educational development of their Gen Alpha students. They have said that students are now reading and writing at several grade levels behind, with a large majority of kids being unable to understand basic literacy, spelling, and grammar.
This 8th grade kid could not spell a single word correctly on his list. 8th grade.
TikTok user QBski is
all
an
you have to do
elementary
is
school
write the
teacher
letters.
from Atlanta, Georgia.
They give the words for you. What?
TikTok user QBski is an elementary school teacher from Atlanta, Georgia, who took to TikTok to express his concern for the students in his class. He said that although he teaches a 7th grade class, many of his students are nowhere near that level of education.
I teach 7th grade, they are still performing on the 4th grade level. Ain't nobody talking about how they just keep moving, passing them on. I can put as many zeros in this grade because I want to. They're gonna move that child to the 8th grade next year.
This teacher even stated that some of the students in his class perform at kindergarten, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grade levels, even though they're just 2 years away from entering high school. And he's not the only teacher that feels this way.
And I teach at one of the more affluent schools. When I tell you that these babies cannot read, they cannot write, and they cannot comprehend, I'm not being funny. I'm being dead serious.
When it comes to high school kids, it's not much better because the creator, Cool Nace, aka N, said that her 10th and 11th grade English students were only capable of performing at a 6th or 7th grade reading level.
Oh my god. Sophomore and juniors? No, dude.
despite being in their
You gotta
upper
get better in
years
high
of
school, dude.
And other sources continue to claim that Gen Alpha kids don't only have poor learning skills, they have poor behavior too. Young students misbehaving in the classroom.
Damn! What? Oh my god! Teacher never locked me once. Give me the truth.
The new norm, and when teachers like N try
Imagine throwing a chair, dude, in class. That's unheard of.
to discipline them properly, it
Not
doesn't
now,
work
though.
out.
My principal told me you can't do that in Georgia. They have completely taken discipline.
Let's see what's
out
bad
of
about my
education.
school. Not kids with, okay, kids do have some learning difficulties. That is a pretty big problem. Alright, bullying, huge problem. Kids get jumped all the time. My mom's like, oh, that's a thug school. It is, pretty much. I've heard of kids at like Chick-fil-A that get jumped by They get jumped by kids beaten with rocks. Kids choke each other out. Racism, biggest problem.
At this point,
But that's just like jokes, and I mean like jokes among friends. There's a lot of racist jokes, not actual racism. Bullying is a problem.
You cannot use the grade book to implement any kind of discipline or any kind of enforcement with students. And that is going to be the ruin of our kids.
But it's not just attention disorders that are at fault here. The internet has also given Gen Alpha a golden ticket when it comes to cheating their way through school. ChatGPT.
Ooh. Oh. Not Hero. What the? Hero Wars and Tomb Raider? Nah. Okay. Anyways, ChatGPT. Now that is an actual problem at my middle school. Kids are using ChatGPT all the time. All the time. A lot of this reading and writing difficulties, I don't really see. But ChatGPT is like, my social studies teacher bumped our test grades from 30% of our grade to 80% of our grade because of how many people were cheating. And I don't think that was using ChatGPT. I think ChatGPT is only something I've seen in language arts. I'm gonna be honest. Like in speeches and stuff. We're doing promotion speeches right now. I'm gonna go to high school next year. A lot of kids are using ChatGPT, so.
AI tools like ChatGPT can easily help kids finish their homework in seconds. The shift has reduced the emphasis on work ethic, along with valuable life skills like critical thinking and communication. Without these skills, Gen Alpha has become prone to all sorts of influence.
Dinner without YouTube.
They are so conditioned to only look at the surface level, they take most of what they see on social
Come
media
take away my
as
iPad.
without researching for themselves and questioning it.
I dare
Everything
you.
they see online is immediately taken as a fact, which is detrimental to these young, impressionable kids. And companies are taking advantage of this. They're
Oh, yeah.
targeting a demographic that they shouldn't be.
Money.
The gullible generation. Anywhere you go on the internet, you are destined to run into an advertisement. Whether on the TikTok shop or just casually scrolling on social media, marketing has evolved from billboards and newspapers to scrolling on your phone. Adults are able to understand what an organic piece of content is
everything's
versus a
online
paid
now.
promotion, but young kids are less perceptive of this. They use viral trends as guidelines for what they should or should not like, even if it's not meant for them.
As kids consume more online content, including advertising, they're being influenced to buy products that are just not made for them.
We see this happening all the time with Gen Alpha, especially due to the rising influence of TikTok. But they aren't alone. Millennials and older generations
Oh my god! Why? Don't get it. These kids use skincare for no reason, man. That's just a waste of money. Dude. Okay. The only reason kids at these... Okay. I would only believe this if there was some kid that was 9 years old that had acne. Okay, the only reason you should be getting skincare is if you have acne. And that's if you're like above... That's if like you're 13 or above. This is like, nah. Put it on skincare even though I don't even need it at all. Like, bro. Who need... Why? Okay. I bet you ask these kids one reason why they need skincare, and it's just because, there's no actual reason. It's because I want to.
Drive forward these trends and make them mainstream on social media. One product being the infamous Stanley Cup.
Drawing screams of excitement and tears of joy.
It's a cup. It's a cup. I don't get it. I don't get it. I really don't. It is a cup. It's a cup. Literally, you could give me a Hydro Flask and a Stanley Cup, and I'd be like, I don't know. I literally don't know the like, a Stanley Cup is a cup. A Hydro Flask is a cup. A Hydro Flask and a Stanley Cup have many similarities. You know? If you give me a Stanley Cup versus a Hydro Flask, I'd be like, oh, maybe a Hydro Flask. You know, I think Stanley Cup is kind of more targeted towards girls. So like, okay, whatever. I like Stanley Cup's a girl thing, whatever, I don't like it. I get Hydro Flask. I don't know.
This year's hottest status symbol and most coveted holiday gift.
Oh my god.
Oh my god! A cup! You got me a cup?
Is the Stanley Tumbler.
Oh my god! It's a cup made of aluminum!
For multiple news headlines and heavy in-person lines as
Yay! Now I can drink water! I don't...
as 4 a.m.
What?
Because it's so popular, people are willing to go to the ends of the earth to get one. Although this is the...
That's like... That kind of reminds me of like one of those... What was the Christmas movie that, Arnold Schwarzenegger was in?
The new craze. If you want to get your hands on one, it won't be cheap. The Stanley Tumbler will run you back around $45 USD with limited edition cups costing even more than that.
Give me a Stanley versus a Hydro Flask. Hydro Flask.
This cost
Don't
is
care.
pretty hefty for a water bottle, and it's definitely not one that everyone can afford. But
Don't care. I drink. I don't buy water bottles. I don't buy water bottles to look cool with them. I buy water bottles so I can drink out of them. Yeah, to be kidding me. Hold on. Okay, hold on. There's something I gotta check on my phone. Okay, here we go. Check the live stream. Oh. Dude, I gotta work on my homework.
Consequences if you can't pay for one.
Oh no!
Mom Dana Motika went viral on TikTok, posting how her 9-year-old daughter was bullied for bringing a less expensive look-alike to school.
Oh my god. Okay. I understand. If you brought like a mock-up of something that's like really popular to school, kids are gonna make fun of you. Because you're poor. You're poor. I make fun of you now. I'm richer than you. I can eat food.
Dana had bought her daughter a $10 Stanley look-alike from Walmart as a gift for and made fun.
Oh.
Her daughter brought the cup to school after Christmas break, only to come home upset.
My 9-year-old daughter brought a mock-up of a Stanley Cup. She got jumped by 10 different kids twice her age and got beaten with rocks. Yeah, that's...
Kids in school.
She got jumped by 10 different kids.
Reason because her Stanley Cup was fake. Over the break,
and they ate her Stanley Cup.
Grade had gotten real Stanley Cups as presents, and they were quick to call out Dana's daughter for her due. They said that hers was not as cool and made fun of her because of it. To us, it might seem wild that a young girl is being bullied over not having an expensive water bottle. But for Gen Alpha, this is their new reality.
You can't buy food.
Gen Alpha has become possibly one of the most materialistic generations ever. ever. With so much advertising being shown at their young eyes, these kids feel the need to buy everything they see or face the fear of not fitting in. And it's not just Stanley Cups that have proven this. Earlier this year, the beauty retailer Sephora made headlines after multiple story times about Sephora 10-year-olds went viral on TikTok.
Viral clips have been going around of kids going in Sephora making a big mess.
Yeah.
We're visible.
Looks like
we're the wireless company with nothing to hide.
What the bed? Looks like someone coming and shit on fucking makeup.
During this trend, dozens of people flooded the TikTok For You page with their...
Yeah, this stuff is being this is the stuff being targeted right here. And I know they're like saying stories about that, but like I'm talking about like basic stuff about like, here's my skincare routine. Gets targeted towards kids.
Their own personal horror
like,
stories
oh my God,
with Generation Alpha shoppers at the makeup store. They complained that the kids were rude and had no respect for anyone or anything in the store.
I'm in Sephora right now, and I'm gonna count how many 10-year-olds I see. 1, 2, 3. Currently walking past a 10-year-old getting her eyebrows done. 4, 5, 6. There's a whole group of them over here.
Kids as young as 4 were shopping in the aisles of Sephora for expensive beauty products that they clearly did not need. The reason behind it, the internet.
All she wants for the holidays is, well, not toys, but skincare products.
TikTok made me buy it. Number
Social
47.
media has become Gen Alpha's go-to guide.
Skincare routine for kids shouldn't exist because kids don't need skincare routines
to live their life. Whatever they see influencers do, they want to do. Whatever they see influencers buy, they want to buy. With every beauty influencer on platforms,
stop profiting off of children, period.
Like TikTok and Instagram becoming obsessed by.
They're profiting off of children.
With every
the parents are running these
influencer
accounts
on platforms like TikTok and Instagram,
you can tell because
obsessed with skincare.
They did not edit
it's only
this.
natural for Gen Alpha kids to follow in their footsteps. But this can be a red flag, especially for parents, as social media sets a bad example for young girls. The Sephora Kids trend is a prime example. These young girls do not need to be spending hundreds of dollars on beauty products that are targeted at adults. These products have chemicals and ingredients that can be harmful to kids, especially the ones that have gone viral online. Drunk Elephant is the name on every Gen Alpha's tongue. Originally a skincare brand meant for millennials, now a larger portion of Drunk Elephant's consumer base consists of beauty-obsessed kids. With products priced from $20 to upwards of over $100, this is definitely not a brand that most kids can afford to buy.
What is my skincare routine? I wet my face. I take some CeraVe Acne moisturizing stuff. Put on my moisturizing lotion. Put on my hands. Rub my hands together so it gets all soapy. Mix it all on my face. I take a wet rag. Rinse my face off. Take a dry rag. Dry up my face. I add some acne pads to my face. Wipe some acne pads on my face. Opens up my pores. Put it away. Then I take some more acne cream. Little dot over where all my blackheads are, and then I just mix it on there, and that's it. That's my skincare routine.
Least without the help of their parents. But is this really something that parents want to be getting for their kids? Many of these drunk
stealing Sephora products
contain
and not
ingredients
paying.
like peptides, acids, and retinol, which can all
Stealing Sephora products that I don't need and not paying for them.
To youthful skin. Retinol is a form of vitamin A that's known for its anti-aging effects, with higher concentrations.
Yay! It can help clear
These
acne.
kinds of high
If
concentrations
it helps clear
are
acne,
regularly
I'll eat
found
it.
in beauty products and are definitely not meant for young girls. But it's not only physical health concerns the parents are having.
Stop profiting off of children! I keep saying this.
It's also the mental effects too.
Social media is doing this, and this could be setting up a lot of young girls with issues that'll follow them well into adulthood.
Yes. Young girls are constantly being overwhelmed with societal beauty standards and ever-changing trends in fashion.
Oh my God!
For Gen Alpha, this pressure has only increased with the influx of social media influencers. They look up to influencers more than they do their own parents. But is this influence positive or negative?
I cannot. Dude, James Charles is my real dad, not you.
I'm addicted.
Christina Makeup Tutorials is my real mom, not you.
By the age of 1, The average Gen Alpha kid already has over 100 pictures of them posted on social media.
On social media? Hold on a second. Okay, you know what? Now, let me pop up some, my first selfie. Let's check it out. I think it might have been 2011. Maybe. I'm gonna look back here. No. It was after. I used to have curly hair back when I was like 1. And I got it all cut off. And that one stupid haircut. Stupid. Just like a selfie. Just like one selfie. I'll take it. Just give me one. Just give me one. They're literally just pictures of my fort. Hold on. Still trying to find the, I had to mute for a second. Hold on, I'm still trying to find, like, okay, we can go up to, like, February or, like, no, January. February or January, don't worry. I'll get it up soon. There we go. Here. This is a selfie I took when I was 1 year old. I wasn't even 2 yet. It's a picture of my forehead. This is some of the first selfies I ever took. There's so many of them I took. But anyways, yeah.
Almost
not on
every
social media.
Gen Alpha kid.
When did I first have social media? My mom's YouTube account, 2017. I say like 2017, 2018. I was
It's
like
their
8.
main form of communication with their friends
Posted
and where they
private
get the latest
YouTube videos.
news. But their social media screen time is often unregulated by parents, so there's no telling what these Gen Alpha kids are watching on their devices. And that's the scary part. Although most social media platforms have age restrictions or content guidelines, kids can easily bypass them just by lying about their age. And regardless if the platform is meant for younger audiences, anyone can break
Stealing
the
Sephora products! Yay!
content anyway. TikTok, the most popular platform for Gen Alpha.
Oh my god, dude, wait.
Inappropriate.
That was totally my
content.
I was literally
TikTok,
thinking about this. This was my For You page in 2020.
Most popular
These videos. It's gotta be from this guy, dude. It was like the sped up videos, like the 2x videos when guys were just like, where it's like the gun sounds where it's like, or something like that. Or just like, something like that. I don't know.
Platform for Gen Alpha is a mishmash of all different sorts of content. The For You page throws a bunch of different videos together in an endless scroll, showing users the type of content that they like, as well as new content that they've never seen before. One of the most common trends that you can find on social media is thirst trapping. This form of content is meant to attract attention from viewers, usually in the form of posing, dancing, or acting seductively. Although the nature of this content is meant for a much older audience, there's a ton of kids participating in these trends without realizing its implications. It's become more and more common to see a Gen Alpha kid dressed up in revealing clothing making thirst trap content, which in itself is already unsettling. But not to mention, there's no telling who's watching or saving this content online, which can leave them
watch my thirst traps, guys. I'm 10 years old.
vulnerable to a certain audience that may have other intentions. platforms. With the influx of OF promotions, adult content is becoming more accessible. With social media heavily influencing young people, it's become difficult for them to see the importance of real relationships.
The only thirst traps
One
I'll
in
like
four
is Ryan
children
Reynolds.
go outside
Just
to play
give me
nowadays,
a
missing
thirst trap of Ryan
crucial
Reynolds.
social interactions. Most of Gen Alpha
I'll watch it for
spends
like
their
2
time
hours.
indoors consuming media meant for adults.
What?
The severe dopamine addictions from internet platforms like TikTok have resulted in negative effects on young
Queso!
generations, as simple as enjoying their day-to-day life. Kids no longer have the patience for anything because they're so used to the instant gratification that social media provides them. Kids can't do simple, everyday tasks like brushing their teeth, eating food, or using the restroom without the constant stimulation.
My phone. My phone was dead, and I'm. My phone was dead, and it was so close to being finally done charging, and I couldn't make it to the bathroom on time, and I shit myself because I can't go to the toilet without Skibidi Toilet. I can't go to the toilet without Skibidi Toilet, and my phone was dead, so I shit myself.
Of a screen. Gen Alpha becomes impatient and frustrated at the drop of a hat, with even the smallest inconveniences getting blown out
No
of
iPad,
proportion
no
in
life.
terms of cold tantrums or breakdowns. With most of their learning coming from the internet, they're being exposed to horrible behavior from those entitled influencers that they see online.
And when you look at the biggest influencers now who flaunt their opulent lifestyles and endorse things like OnlyFans, are these really the people you want raising your children?
Now the question is Generation Alpha really doomed?
I
I've talked
hate-
a lot about the problem.
I'm an Andrew Tate Sigma. I beat women and transgenders, and I don't think they're real.
Problems of Gen Alpha, but there are still many strengths that they have. Gen Alpha has access to more resources, knowledge, and tools than ever before. They're living in an exciting time, with technology advancing at such a rapid pace
Sigma.
and them being so adaptable to it. If they're able to
Sigma.
use the internet for good rather than bad, they can become some of the most intelligent people on the planet. And they're also born with empathy inside them. The future can be bright for Gen Alpha. All they need is a little guidance and a push in the right direction. We, as people who care, can monitor what our siblings are doing on social media. And as adults, we can
Why
teach
does my
our
grandpa
kids the
believe in
value
Skibidi
of
Toilet?
hard work, and we can be better examples for them to follow.
I'm totally gonna turn
My
into an
friends,
old
it's time to
person that
stop the
hates what
internet
kids
from
do.
destroying this generation.
Yay, Jeffrey!